r/ProRevenge.
Don't announce your engagement at someone else's wedding, or this might just happen to you. Originally I posted this to r/PettyRevenge, but I think it belongs here. Last summer I was at a cousin's wedding. His bride and her family had been close with ours since before I was born, and the couple had known each other since they were toddlers, so it was a particularly exciting event for both sides of the family. However, after the ceremony was over and the party had only just started, one of the bridesmaids decided to announce her own engagement. The attention was immediately taken away from the newlyweds and brought to the bridesmaid, who I'll call Sarah, and her equally smug fiancé. My cousin's wife, I'll call her Emma, didn't make a scene or utter a single negative word about Sarah. She looked like she was on the verge of tears, but she kept grinning and acted very happy for the other couple. This was unusual, as Emma is typically quite confrontational and speaks her mind no matter the consequences. Sarah later picked Emma to be the maid of honor at her own wedding, which took place last weekend. I wasn't there for it, but my cousin sent me some of the best bits on Snapchat and explained the whole situation. This is where the fun begins. Emma's two much younger sisters were the flower girls at Sarah's wedding. At the very last moment, Emma switched out the white petals in their baskets to blue ones she had secretly brought with her. She told her sisters not to say anything about it or let the bride see them until it was time to scatter them down the aisle. Sarah looked very confused upon seeing the blue petals, which didn't coordinate whatsoever with her theme, but of course she didn't say anything about it in the moment. Most of Sarah's other bridesmaids were also Emma's friends, had attended Emma's wedding, and were in on Emma's scheme. At the reception, Emma's sisters and the other bridesmaids were tight-lipped when Sarah began demanding to know why there were blue petals. The wedding planner ended up getting a lot of abuse for not checking the flower girls' baskets before they walked down the aisle. Finally, it was time for the speeches. The speeches took place in front of a massive screen, displaying a loop of photos with Sarah and her husband, which had been compiled by Emma. Emma took the remote that controlled the presentation screen. At first she showed some pre-approved humorous photos of Sarah with Emma and other friends to facilitate a couple light-hearted jokes. Then, at the very end, Emma said to Sarah that she must be wondering why there were blue petals instead of the white ones originally planned. That was when Emma displayed the last slide from her presentation. Emma announced in front of everyone that she was 5 months pregnant, and that she'd just discovered the baby was a boy, hence the blue petals. The last slide? Her ultrasound picture. There were shocked yells and gasps. Sarah had a fit, but those involved in the scheme cheered so loudly that I sincerely regret watching the Snapchat recordings with headphones. Apparently Sarah had been very nasty to her bridesmaids before, driving several of them away and forcing the others to pay ridiculous amounts of money for dresses. Emma and my cousin were eventually thrown out of the party, but they were all smiles. Sarah's fuming mother went to confront her outside, and Emma retorted with, "Gentle, gentle. I'm pregnant." I reckon Sarah doesn't speak to the majority of those bridesmaids anymore. /TL, Dr. Self-important bridesmaid announces her engagement at my cousin's wedding, stealing the spotlight from him and his bride. Said bridesmaid foolishly names my cousin's wife her maid of honor and behaves like a complete bridezilla. Cousin's wife sabotages her wedding to announce her own pregnancy. Edit. Thank you, kind stranger, for the gold. Edit 2. Oh wow, silver too. Thank you so much, really appreciate it. Yet another edit. Platinum. Huge thanks to everyone for the kindness.
A response to the post.
I'll never understand why people who hate each other so deeply remain friends with one another.
A response to the post.
There's a lot of narcissism in there to unpack.
A response to this comment.
If this was posted to /r/Amethyasshole, it would get a resounding ESH.
A response to the post.
And then at Emma's baby shower, Sarah flaunts that she's dying. And at Sarah's funeral, Emma announces she killed her. And at Emma's trial, Sarah comes back as a zombie.
A response to this comment.
Sounds like a shitty straight-to-TV movie with some down-on-their-luck actors.
A response to the post.
I hope y'all paid the wedding planner enough to deal with that shit. I wouldn't wish a bridezilla on anyone.
A response to this comment.
The wedding planner ended up getting a lot of abuse. Yeah, This sucks and everyone in this story sucks except the wedding planner.
A response to the post.
This kinda gave me a justice boner but also sounds like an everybody sucks moment.
A response to this comment.
It can be both. Sometimes a person is an asshole but it is so satisfying at the same time. Well-deserved asshole moment.
A response to the post.
I've got one. One of my friends told me of her engagement at my husband's wake. Also good timing.
A response to the post.
I was once at a wedding where the bride's younger sister was proposed to immediately after the speeches by her quarter-wit boyfriend. Things weren't quite as civil as in this story though. After the meal, the bride pulled her sister to one side and they ended up in a screaming argument. Then the bride was punched in the nose. Then she had butted her sister. It was all going downhill from this point, with several other family members getting involved or trying to separate them when the police turned up, having been called by the venue staff, and dragged the pair of them away in handcuffs. Although, fair play to them, it is a wedding nobody that was there is likely to forget.
A response to this comment.
At my cousin's wedding, the groom and brother got into a fist fight at the reception. I don't know which cousin's wedding it was. Casual. I was young, but I remember two things from that day. 1, the fight that cleared out the reception hall. 2, a woman getting low on the dance floor wearing no underwear. I didn't see that part of the family for the next 20 plus years. No much changed.